Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what is a very match preview for Brighton versus Aston Villa. I've just watched Man United lose 2-0 to Hull pretty convincingly, which was a big shock. I'm sure everyone's shocked about. And I thought, oh, I haven't done a Brighton match preview, so I'm going to get on with that now. With Brighton being our first league game of the season, it's quite exciting that there's all this kind of hope and expectation, which will probably be completely destroyed when we lose 6-0 to Brighton, but it's good while we have it. So first for the opponent, Brighton, I think the first thing to do is look at their squad on their website. So let's have a look. So they've got a strong goal Bart for Bruggen, one of the big better goalkeepers outside the big six. Uh, Defense, they signed well, they've got big money in their defense system and centre backs. Got Pascal Strout, Costino from Olympiacos. De Kuyper's a good player. This when the big money sign is Vuskovic. With Van Hecke leaving with 1 year left to Tottenham, Vuskovic has replaced him for big money. Moving on to the midfield, I think Maternal's still injured, so he won't be playing, but they've got young Hinshelwood. Pascal Gross, he's been a great player for Brighton. Didn't really light it up at Dortmund, but yeah, he's still a good player in the Premiership. Baleba, I don't think he'll play because he's linked with Man United, but if not, I'm sure they'll have enough depth there. Diego Gomez, he's got some good fantasy pick. Why for a ride? They got some solid players in midfield and the attack. Danny Welbeck leaving, they signed Promise David. They got Ruta, who can do a job there. The big, best link with Liverpool at the moment, Yakuba Mintez. They've got some good players. Christos Zolis, the youngster, signed from Olympiacos as well, and Evan Ferguson. I think, unfortunately, he doesn't look like he's going to hit the heights that he was promised when he broke through at 19. That Brighton team just hasn't happened for him. So that's the Brighton squad. That's quite good. A solid squad overall. Again, they're in the Conference League this year. They did play on Thursday with a 0-0 draw with Tromso, I think they were called. Which was an okay result. I think they're going to sort it out in the second leg in their place, but that's the Brighton squad. And then we'll move on to the last five head to head. So last time we played them, we won 1-0. A dramatic 4-3 before that we won. We've actually won the last three with a 3-0 win, but before that a 2-2 draw in 2024 and the 1-0 Brighton win the time before that. So we're in pretty good form in the last five times we played, three wins, a draw, and a loss, which is pretty very good form. And every time we've had Herzler as manager, we haven't lost, so that's a good sign. Recent form in terms of friendlies in our first competitive game. I just realized about Borussia Mönchengladbach wrong. I put a J instead of a K. Okay, yeah, yeah. But look at our form. We've lost the last three against good teams, like Bayern Munich, PSG, good teams. We had a rotated squad against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then we won our games on tour in Indonesia and that kind of their Asia. Brighton had a very good preseason. They played three and won all the three against not past European teams, but Bologna in the Europa League last year, Roma, all strong team in Italy, Strasbourg doing well in France. So they've had some good results in preseason, but we have played a lot more games than them, so we should be more physically fit. And a last result that no one would draw to Tromso. I don't. It's not a bad result, but they probably expected more. But they're probably sorted out back at the Amex. So that's that. Injury news. Now we've got a bit of an injury crisis at the moment. Our two of our three strikers in Brian Madge and Tammy Abraham are injured. Tammy, we don't know what's wrong with him. We just know he's injured. Madge has got an ankle injury, so I'm hoping it's not too long term. And funny thing about Joe Gomez, he's played every league game for Wolves since he joined, and as soon as he played one game for Villa, he picks up a calf strain, so he's not available this weekend. Now, the one person we think could be back is Alejandro Garnacho, who's 50-50 after his facial injury. And Arne Slot with his ACL rupture, he's going to be out for a long time till next year, so we can pretty much forget about him for a while. Leon Bailey's got a muscle injury, he won't be available, and Manzambi's got a knee injury, he's also not available. So at the moment we've got one, two, three, five, seven injured players at the moment, which isn't good. So we are having to rotate a little bit, and the starting 11 I would use is probably quite controversial. I've gone with Martinez in goal, although I think he will be leaving by the end of the summer, well, end of the transfer window, sorry. Why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, so why would we not start him? I know Suzuki is on the, I put him on the bench. But I'll start Martinez, he's the best goalie, and then when he goes this week or next week, Suzuki will be in that number one, and Bizot, if Suzuki's not capable, Bizot can step in. Got Max at left back. I think he had actually a really good game against PSG. I was surprised at how high up he got because I thought we would have to sit back. But Matson got very high up and he had a very promising game. Uh, I've got Pau Torres and Concert there, and Concert will definitely not be playing. He's now joined Arsenal, so that's a mistake again I've made. I'm having a cracking preview, I think I'd put, what would I do? I'd put Lindelof in for Konsa, and I'd play Torres and back, and Cash would stay right back. He'd have a shocking game against PSG, but Wan-Bissaka's signed, but I don't think he's ready to play yet. Midfield, we're really short. We're linked with Leon Goretzka, I think would be a good signing, but at the moment, I think it's got to be Kamara has to play with Barkley experience. With Bogard on the bench, I think that's centre back. The centre back CDM or right back. On the left and the right midfield, I'm going to pick the South Bandier and McGinn. Now at 10, we really don't have anyone remotely in terms of a first team player due to injuries, and well, Manzambi's not ready, so Hemmings is pretty much the start. I've got Aloba on the bench. Uh, Alisson and Garnacho, I don't know if they could play the 10, but it'd be quite interesting. And then with Maggio and Tammy injured, not fit, I think we have to start Watkins. There's no alternative. I've also chucked young Rory Wilson on the bench if it was up to me because that's our only fit other striker, so he has to be on that bench. And then if you look at the bench, going Suzuki, he's unfortunate. Might even I think Emery might start him over Martinez, but if it was me, I'd pick Martinez. New signing with Jerry, Mings, not Lindelof anymore, so I think I'd put a youngster on the bench, maybe Rowe, played a bit in pre-season. Bogard, I've said, Garnacho has on the wings, maybe he might fit in at 10 if we're really desperate. Chino Aloba, the youngster, who's showed a bit of promise in a goal in the Europa League, but yeah, we're pretty short in certain areas, and we're going to have to make do with what we've got. So I've gone with a 2-1 score prediction to Villa. I think because of our fitness, we'll start off pretty well, faster than Brighton. We'll get an early goal. I think then because obviously our set piece coach has left, they will score from a set piece when he's signing Vuskovic, and then Garnacho will come off the bench. Not hoping, but I think Garnacho will come off the bench and have a big impact and get that winning goal right at the end for us to win the game. I've got my fingers crossed because Brighton away is not the easiest of first games. Then again, neither was Hull for Man United was a very easy game on paper, and they got absolutely embarrassed. So yeah, I've got my fingers crossed. We should do. Hopefully, I'm hoping for 3 points, but with the injuries, it might be more difficult when we think. So a draw's not the worst result, but opening day, I've got that optimism, so I'm hoping we can win 2-1. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Last minute match preview. Hope you've enjoyed it. You can like and subscribe. Next video will be, I think, the match preview next week against Arsenal. Yeah, Monday night. So I'll see you for that then.